Patuma na sa balay guys. Whenever na mo rescue, Bacayan, Villa del Rio 1, please lang.
Tabang na mo dari oy. Ala ka da.
Flooding was reported in Cebu City and Cebu Province, following hours of heavy rain and strong winds brought by Typhoon Tino, Kalmaegi, early Tuesday morning. Residents in affected areas pleaded for help on social media as floodwaters rose rapidly, submerging homes, vehicles, and roads.
Dito may rescue diri sa phase 3, maluoy ang taon mo, nanami sa rooftop tanan. Oh, ang mananga. Nangaanod na tanan, Lord, na ami diri. Rescue, please, rescue.
In Cebu City, severe flooding hit Barangay Bacayan, particularly in the Villa del Rio 1 area, with water levels reaching the second floor. Cebu City Councilor Winston Pepito, who lives in the area, said in a Facebook live broadcast that rescue operations had begun but were limited due to unsafe conditions. Residents took refuge on rooftops while some cars were completely submerged. The fast-moving typhoon slammed into the central Philippines after making landfall overnight, killing at least 2 people, triggering flash floods that tracked residents on rooftops and submerged cars in 2 villages and displacing tens of thousands. Entire towns on Cebu Island were submerged, with cars, trucks, and even large shipping containers seen swept away by the muddy floodwaters in videos verified by AFP. In the 24 hours before Kalmaegi made landfall, areas around the provincial capital, Cebu City, received 183 millimeters, 7 inches of rain, far above the monthly average of 131 millimeters, state weather specialist Charmaine Barilla told AFP. The situation in Cebu is truly unprecedented, Provincial Governor Pamela Evacuations said in a Facebook post on Tuesday. We expected the wind to be a dangerous factor, but it's the water that is really endangering our residents, she said. This flooding is truly devastating. Local disaster official Eiffel Mendoza told AFP that the bodies of 2 children had been recovered in Cebu City, where rescuers were still trying to reach residents trapped by floodwaters. At least 3 other deaths have been confirmed elsewhere, including an elderly resident who drowned on the top floor of their home in Leyte Province, and a man struck by a falling tree in Bohol.
Maglisod daw ng mga rescuer ani wala na mo sa kenan bukog na gyud. Apit na gyud maabot ang second floor. Para kana yung gamay.
Don Del Rosario, 28, was among the Cebu City residents who sought shelter upstairs as the storm raged. The water rose so fast, he said. At 4 o'clock a.m., it was already out of control. People couldn't get out of their homes. I've lived here for 28 years, and this is the worst we've ever experienced. Scientists warn that hurricanes are becoming stronger due to human-caused climate change. Warmer oceans allow typhoons to strengthen quickly, and a warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, meaning heavier rainfall. Vehicles pile up at a residence in Cebu City after flooding caused by Typhoon Kalmaegi struck. Hundreds of people still living in tent cities after a 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck the island in late September were forcefully evacuated for their own safety. TB Information Officer Ron Ramos told AFP by phone. In total, nearly 400,000 people were preemptively relocated out of the typhoon's path. Rafaelito Alejandro, Deputy Administrator at the Office of Civil Defense, said at a press conference Tuesday, more storms expected. As of 2 o'clock p.m., 600 GMT, the typhoon was moving westward through the Visayan island chain, packing winds of 130 kilometers, 81 miles, per hour and gusts of 180 kilometers / uprooting trees and downing power lines. The Philippines experiences an average of 20 storms and typhoons annually, which routinely hit disaster-prone areas where millions live in poverty. With Kalmaegi, the archipelago has already reached that average, weather specialist Farilla told AFP, adding that at least 3 to 5 more storms are expected by the end of December. Rescuers evacuate a resident from their flooded home after heavy rains brought like Typhoon Kalmaegi in a residential area in Cebu City in the central Philippines on Tuesday. Rescuers evacuate a resident from their flooded home after heavy rains brought like Typhoon Kalmaegi in a subdivision of Cebu City. Just before midnight in the Dinagat Islands province, where Kalmaegi first made landfall, Miriam Vargas sat with her children in the darkness, praying as winds battered the walls of her house. Flooding also inundated Barangay Bacayan in Cebu City and its surrounding areas. In Mandaue City, areas near Hotel Mayo on UN Avenue were submerged until 7 a.m., rendering some roads impassable. In northern Cebu, flooding was reported in Galaxy Danglad, Consolation Town, where uploader Angelique Bacchus made an online appeal for rescue, saying several residents were trapped. The front of the Danao Provincial Hospital in Danao City was also flooded.
Need speedboat for rescue kay grabing taasan na sa tubig. Guys. Daming mga gagmayng bata, kinahanglan jud migtabang. Palihog ko sa mga nakakita, please.
Severe tropical storm Tino approaches landfall. No. 3 signal in parts of Visayas and Mindanao, tropical cyclone wind signal no. 3 was raised in parts of Visayas and Mindanao on Monday morning as severe tropical storm Tino approached landfall.
Punong na ito. Kuan, nagugaan, kuan. Wala na. Ang Fortuner, wala makita. Lupong na.
In southern Cebu, flooding was reported in Pueblo San Ricardo subdistrict, Talisay City, where resident Nan Wales Day said the first floor of her house was already submerged by 6:30 a.m.
Lagi ko, katabang na mo dari, oy. Ala ka da.
Cebu Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office, PDRMO, Chief Dennis Pastor said rescue teams have been deployed to Talisay City and are coordinating with local officials. He added that the Armed Forces of the Philippines has also been deployed to assist in rescue operations in Malone, north of the city.
Awa among tubig. Tigtig yung dako ah.
As of 8 a.m., PAGASA reported that Typhoon Tino was moving closer to Panay Island. The typhoon center was located near Sagay City, Negros Occidental, with maximum sustained winds of 150 kilometers per hour (PAPV) and gusts reaching 205 kilometers per hour, moving west-northwest at 25 kilometers per hour. Strong winds reaching typhoon strength extended up to 300 kilometers from the center.
Hindi na lang po pa, manginom lang, mamalit ka tag.
Payong?
Authorities continue to warn residents in flood-prone and low-lying areas to remain vigilant and heed evacuation advisories as heavy rains continue to fall in Cebu.
Dugayan nila ni Tuli na kahalin, no?
Oh, gabit lapas naman sa titsyo dito man. Kagaliog naman. Kagaliog na lagi. Pagulita siya.
Boleh plastik, boleh.
Kunin niya lang ko alam, kasi lang niya. Pagulita lang niya. Gatalan, liog.
Pero makapatong man kasi